Welcome back to the channel. The reason for today's video is for some big news. I'm getting VSG surgery. Yay! I'm gonna answer a few questions now. I didn't want to say nothing too soon because obviously, I'm like, what if I back out? And it's just, I didn't want that added pressure. But here we are. Tomorrow is my preoperative appointment with my surgeon. So things is about to get real. So, question number one. What was the steps to get approved? So if you see me looking down, it's because I have my handy dandy notebook. Of course, it's blinged out. The first thing I had to do when I started this journey was to talk to my primary care doctor and just kind of discuss like where I'm at. I'm really into thinking about getting a surgery, like basically a weight loss surgery. I've given my all in the previous year leading up to my honeymoon, and I was even a part of like a weight loss group. I was even helping lead the group and stretches, doing 7 a.m. workouts and all that stuff. But it's just, everything I would lose, I will regain. So I'm just basically over the whole cycle of losing, regaining, losing, regaining. I am scared of bugs and I'm in my garden. So excuse me if you see me looking around. But anyways, so after we had that whole conversation with my primary doctor, she went on to refer me to a bariatric surgeon. So I was like, oh my goodness, this is happening so quickly. So what I ended up doing was I met up with my husband, and I went to the bariatric doctor, and he just asked me a bunch of like background questions. Why do I want to get the surgery? Do I have any like pre-existing conditions? And I only have, well, not only because it's pretty a big deal, but I am pre-diabetic. So I was like, I don't want to form type 2 diabetes. Me working in the healthcare field, I know what that leads to. So I did not want to become one of those people. So I was like, honestly, I just want to be able to wake up and not have back pain. So, and I want to have a good quality of life. I want to have extra years with my husband and, that whole shebang. He was basically really supportive. He was like, a lot of people kind of, be hard on overweight people and be like, oh, you can lose the weight, you can lose the weight. So, he agreed and he was like, yeah, this is definitely going to be a good option for you. So we discussed the three different surgeries, and before that's the actual in-person meeting, I had a Zoom meeting call where I had to be on like Zoom, and a bunch of people was also on there, and it was a group setting, and it was a bunch of surgeons, and they was there explaining and showing us pictures and videos of the surgeries and the options and stuff. But my mind was already set. I was like, I want the VSG. I don't want the bypass. Like, so the surgeon also agreed with me. He was like, yeah, I definitely recommend the VSG surgery. Um, so after I had that Zoom meeting and I met my surgeon, I had to start the whole process. Now, typically, the process takes about 6 months for some. I got everything done in 3 months because I know the type of person that I am, that if I start something and I don't get it done quickly, it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna start like being in my head, coming up with excuses. So I'm like, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna get through this thing, okay? So I put all my appointments back to back to back to back. We was on to have two nutritional calls. Now, different insurances have different guidelines. I heard some people have to do them for 3 months, but me, I only had to do two calls. So I did my two nutritional calls, and I did it over Zoom because the nutritionist was like an hour away, and I'm like, if this could be a Zoom call and we could do it online, let's do that. So that made life a lot easier. So that's an idea for you if you're getting like really in your head and overwhelmed with all the doctor's appointments. If you can make it a Zoom call, like little things like that, try to, advocate for that. I also had to see a cardiologist. It was just, I guess, policy. They just wanted to check my heart. So I did an EKG. Spoke to the cardiologist. He was like, what kind of exercise and activities you do? I told him. I lift and I work out like 3 times a week. He was like, this is going to be a really good surgery for you. it's good that you're jumping ahead of this thing before other things start to arise. So I was like, yeah, exactly. I had to do some labs. My labs was like the last thing on the list to do. I actually was dragging my feet doing it because, well, I am a THC user. I do smoke marijuana recreationally. So I was just like, all right, well, I have an excuse to wait. I'm going to have to without any marijuana from my sister for a month before I could take that test. And then they called me and it was like, we're going to waive it. So just go get your stuff. And I'm like, what? Okay, so once they took away the drug test, I didn't have to do it, which I haven't smoked since I stopped, so I don't even mind doing it at this point. But they said I didn't have to do it, so I didn't have to do it. I did my labs last. Also, I had like a mid surgeon meeting. It was kind of pointless. I don't really understand why I needed that visit. She just kind of asked me where I was at, if I had any questions. So I guess for people who have a bunch of questions, they would ask, but I do a lot of my own research. So moving on. So tomorrow, oh, also I had to do a Emmy, which was like an online video of what to expect during your stay during the hospital stay when you get your surgery. So they tell you exactly like you can have a tube go down your throat, how you're going to be put to sleep, what to expect when you get there, just the whole thing. So it was a lot of drilling in your head. Like, do you understand what you're getting into? Like, are you ready? Are you ready? But yeah, I did that Emmy video. That was like maybe 20 minutes each. It was like two of them. So during the nutritional calls, we went into detail on how I should be eating. She had me do 2 week food log and cut out sugars, cut out carbonated drinks like my Monster energy drinks, Diet Coke, all that. Get rid of it. I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, I still been drinking it because I'm just like, I'm not gonna be able to drink it after the surgery. So don't follow me. Don't do as I do. But if we have to run in, it's because it's about to rain. So we might have to finish this up inside. Moving on. How have I been preparing for the surgery? So mentally and looking at all my food and kind of saying my farewells, like, oh man, I'm not gonna be able to eat you soon. Okay, it's starting to rain. I'll be back. So we're back. I am currently in my bathroom because it's the one place in this house that I can get some me time. So I'm hiding out from my 4 year old. Anyways, mentally, how I've been preparing. I look at the food. I've been saying my goodbyes, especially like things like bread, potatoes, and stuff like that. People say that they can eventually start eating their bread and potatoes and stuff like that, but I don't plan to do the surgery and go back to bad habits. I've been listening to an ebook. It was called Gastric Sleeve: The Best and Worst Decision I've Ever Made. It's on Audible. Definitely check it out. And he just kind of goes into like the whole detail of this guy and his wife doing the surgery together, doing the whole journey together, and his ups and downs with insurance and stuff like that. I've been binge watching so many YouTube videos, so many. Like I can't even like name the names that I've watched. And but I appreciate all of you guys' information. I watched my 600-pound life. I've joined a Facebook group. Back. Oh, where's my book at? Now I'm back. Had to reapply my lip gloss. I got this Savage Fenty. If you ain't know, now you know. This is where it's at. Anyways, physically, what I've been doing. So it doesn't just stop where you're like, okay, I'm getting weight loss surgery. I'm not gonna work out. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna eat until no, you can't do that. So I think I already mentioned before, but if I haven't already, I am doing Deja Fit and the Fit Queen team. I work out with them 3 times a week. So we are like on a whole different platform now. It's called School, and we have live Zoom meetings on weekends. And she has like food plans and stuff like that. But because I'm doing the VSG guidelines, I'm not really following those things. But check it out. Yeah, you're supposed to work out at least 3 times a week. The goal, at least 30 minutes. So I've been doing that, not faithfully, not as much as I should be, but I have been doing it. I do work out. I started working out 45 minutes, and then I'll do like a little 20-minute walk afterwards, or I'll do like some cardio or something like that. My main goal was don't gain anymore. Like, I ain't comfortable telling you the size right now, but we'll get there. I had to learn to start taking smaller bites when I'm eating my dinner, my foods, and stuff like that. Start taking smaller bites because after surgery, you'll be eating stuff I heard as small as a pencil eraser. I'll go into a haul of things that I've bought, but I will tell you briefly what I've already bought so far. I did get some toddler utensils. Also, I had to get into the idea of taking sips throughout the day because after the surgery, you can't just gulp down a bunch of water. You can't. So you gotta start sipping, and you also cannot eat and drink at the same time. So I believe you gotta wait 15 minutes before your meal to drink, and then after that, you have to wait 30 minutes after your food in order to drink again. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. It's just about getting your mind ready to start doing that. But let's move on to the things I've bought so far. So I didn't buy much. It is Amazon Prime Day right now, so I took advantage. I bought my toddler utensils. I bought the 2-ounce cups. It was a 200 pack for like $10. I got also the baby Tupperware because mentally you don't want to have a big old plate of food and then you can't eat a whole plate of food. So just get these little glass containers. I'll do a separate video of the stuff that I've bought so you get an idea. Some things that I need to buy still is the gas X strips. I know it's a different type of gas after surgery, but I heard it helps. Dissolvable Tylenol. The less things you have to swallow whole, the better. I'm also gonna buy a recliner. I had went to a dentist appointment, and it was a girl there who had VSG surgery, and she was like, "Get you a recliner and sleep in that thing for like a week." I asked the doctor, "Do I need to buy something like that?" They said no. I'm gonna buy it anyway. I'm gonna buy it. I want to be as comfortable as possible. She said the last thing you want to do is lay flat. So these are just things that I'm keeping into consideration. Also, a belly binder. The hospital probably will provide one. Better safe than sorry. So I'm gonna grab one just in case. How long is recovery, and what will I be doing during this time? Well, for some, they could return back to work within a week. In my group that I'm in, some people say that they felt good like the next 3 days, within 3 days, but like the next day, they didn't really need a lot of help. But I never personally had any surgery, so I'm a big baby. My mommy's coming. My mommy's coming to stay with me and help me out as I recover because I never had any type of surgery ever in my life. So I'm scared. I'm scared. I mean, really, the only thing you're gonna be doing is walking and resting and sipping on liquids. That's it. How do I plan on preparing my family during this time? Is I'm gonna start pre-making some frozen meals to have in the freezer. The more, the better, because after the surgery, you definitely don't want to have to prepare food. I heard it's not easy. So I'm gonna have some frozen meals already done. I let them ask whatever questions. I have an older daughter. She's 15. I'm like, you have any questions? Feel free to ask me. And I just been keeping them in the loop. So really, that's it. Since my mom is coming up, my husband will have some extra help around the house and things like that. And that's how I'm preparing. Diet changes. I think I already mentioned this before, but you have to cut out all carbonated drinks. Some of my weaknesses are Diet Coke. I'll drink a Diet Coke in a heartbeat. Monster energy drinks. Can't have that. Socially, I'll drink like a Corona or like a Modelo or something like that. No more beer. Mm-mm. So I had to cut all those things out. Um, And yeah, that's really it. Prioritize protein, have a balanced plate. But I usually eat a lot of vegetables and stuff like cauliflower mash and stuff. So it really wasn't that big of a deal. Let's see. I did do the 2-week food log, like I mentioned earlier, with the nutritionist, so we could identify the proteins and stuff like that. When I seen the surgeon the second time, the other surgeon, she was just like giving me like this questionnaire of like if I know what would be like protein. And I'm like, it was like spinach, Greek yogurt, and something else. And I picked the spinach, and she was like, no, surprisingly, it's actually the yogurt. I'm like, oh, okay. So little things like that. No big deal. What do I want to get out of this? I want more confidence, of course. Who doesn't want that? Less back pain, less body aches. A year ago, maybe a little over a year ago now, I sprained my right ankle, and then I also have plantar fasciitis. So it's been hard, like walking long distances. My husband's doing work. It's hard work walking long distances. After a while, it start hurting. So we always like, if we take a walk, we'll take like a scooter, just so we don't have to cut the walk short. So we just been making do. But I do look forward to not having to rely on things like that. Also, more energy, of course, more energy. And then to lessen my risk of developing type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure, because it does run in my family. And like I said, I don't want to become a statistic. And finally, tomorrow's my preoperative appointment. Yay! So, like I said, I got everything done in 3 months. I started the journey April of 2024. We're currently in July 2024. So tomorrow's the 18th. So I got everything done pretty fast. So what do I expect during this preoperative appointment is answering the questions. I have a list of questions I'm going to ask the surgeon. That'll be another video if you guys want to hear the questions I decided to ask them. Get weighed in and then go over the liver shrinking diet, because you have to go through the 2-week preoperative diet. It's very strict to shrink your liver, and finally pick out my surgery day. So that is it. That is all. After I meet with them, I will give you guys an update. But yeah, this is just the journey from April to now. Cat's out the bag. This is the next part of the journey. So I will see you guys soon. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share with somebody who's considering VSG. If they're thinking about it, you want to help them out, send them this video. Duh. All right. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see y'all soon.